The topic our group investigate into is how the physical setting of the classroom affect the way of learning. We first look at the function of the district areas in the classroom. Then, we take a closer look at the functioning role of the reading corner, seating, and wall decoration. Teachers manage classroom for effective learning by developing an efficient classroom environment and by cultivating a positive psychological climate in the classroom. The room is usually divided into distinct areas functioning for specific activities. They are teaching station, where teachers conduct the whole class teaching. Small group area, where students can carry out individual or group work. Reference wall, where learnings are presented in a visual way. Teachers' table, where teachers prepare teaching materials. Classroom library, making sure that all the resources are accessible for all students with different reading levels. It can be seen that classroom design maximizes the learning opportunities and engagement for every kid.
Good day, everyone. This is Winnie Zhang. Today, I would like to share with you the observations I have found about Reading Corner in international schools. Reading Corner is a bit different from what we know in traditional setting of a library. It is a part of the classroom setting and plays an important role to signal the concept of reading counts in lifetime. Besides, it is a strategy to improve students' learning process through habit of utilizing classroom corner as a place to read. Let's have a look of some pictures here tells the entire setting of a reading corner. We can see bookshelves are in well-organized manner with stickers labeling different categories of books. It allows students to pick their favorite one easily. For the wall, it tells students to create a rainbow of reading which invites everyone's participation and contribution. It motivates them to develop a habit of reading. Ceiling is decorated with flying books and implying books is in the air. When we have a closer look of the three pictures, it is obvious to tell they are in common with cozy sitting furniture, carpet cushions, and silver. Given that the entire comfortable feel like a corner for reading, it is definitely an attraction to all young readers. We can tell there are demonstrations of students' ownership as they are free to choose any kinds of books to read and engagement to contribute by adding colors to rainbow. Next focus on reading corners is the quotes related to reading. There are two from Dr. Su, who was a well-known writer and cartoonist who published over 60 books. The two quotes from Dr. Su placed on the board as slogans to encourage reading. The first one is, "The more that you read, the more things you know." And the second one is, "You can find magic wherever you look. Sit back and relax. All you need is a book." The two quotes are showing directions and values to students on how reading benefits. When we talk about motivating students to learn, expectancy value theory points out that teachers' task is helping students to know the value of learning and give them a reasonable expectation of success in achieving it. The way that displaying Dr. Su's quotes in Reading Corner is exactly what the theory tells. In the project of designing reading corners, students take up the initiative to work on what themes they are into, while teachers is playing a role of facilitator. In this way, they are encouraged to contribute to the whole setting that makes them devoted to read in the corner. We can see themes like a jungle-like reading hunt, Starbucks cafe, and country themes are very interesting and reflecting their real-life experience. A lively and welcoming reading corner fits what John Dewey's belief of learning should be student-directed, and teachers help them to discover resources. This allows students to construct, create, and actively inquire in order to prepare them to function in society. These dynamic learning experiences are decisive in the stage of building their understanding and acquiring of knowledge towards the world, according to Bansford's saying on constructivism. To sum up for the reading corner, pictures tell how it is, but most importantly, we found that these observations are in close association with the theory of constructivism and students' motivation on learning by considering their ways of thinking and learning.
Hi, this is Ninus, and now in this part, we will focus on the table and seat setting in the classroom in international school. Let's take a look in the traditional one first. The typical classroom are set up with 5 or 6 rows and all facing the front. The teacher's desk is at the front with the whiteboard, and the aisles have enough space between them for the teacher to walk up to each student. Although this setup allows all the students to see the teacher and the whiteboard, it is totally not flexible enough for a dynamic classroom. It is teacher-centered and not good for the group activities. And you will never find the same setting in the international school. Let's see how to set up the table and seat to make the classroom more energetic, and we will mainly separate in 3 parts. First, teaching zone. Second, individual and group base. Third, teacher station. The first part is teaching zone. This area is in the center of the classroom and serves multiple purposes. As you can see, they put the carpet in the middle, which is very useful for teachers to teach for a whole class approach. It is one example of the way flexible seating and more student-centered classroom design. Students can take a seat on the carpet with a comfortable position and keep a cold distance with the teacher. Also, students are reminded that we are all working towards a common goal through this setting. As what you can see from the picture, teacher and student can have a really good conversation in such a flexible and comfortable setting. This zone includes informal discussion, direct instruction, and student presentations. It provides a space to discuss what has been learned, make connections, pose questions, present others' perspectives, and engage in reflection. This is also a good place for an author's chair from which students who can share and read their own writing to the class. Second, for the individual and group-based purpose. The table and seat is recommended as composability instruments, which means they are easy to move and compose. The desk could be in U-shape or square. Students will have enough individual learning space. Each one can have his own seat and desk to finish his own school works. Moreover, the small individual tables can compose as a big one, for 5 to 6 students to sit face to face. They can finish the discussions and group works easier. Also, they can put and share the writing materials in the middle. Most importantly, students can learn in group. With no doubt, this classroom setting allows diverse study methods than the traditional one. Last but not least, teacher station. Each classroom has to mark off a space as a teacher station. It helps teachers to manage all the professional responsibilities. Teacher station is a place for teachers to arrange all the teaching materials for that day. For example, copies, pencils, paper, and so on. This zone is also a professional space where teachers plan, prepare, grade, analyze data, and complete the report. Sometimes, teachers will use it as a private space to host one-on-one conference with their students. Therefore, teachers have to make sure to put the desks in the corner that students don't pass by all the time. Moreover, teacher can put a brightly colored tab on the floor around the teacher station and make it clear to your students that they shouldn't go beyond that tab.